Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Boot Camp. Coach Jazzy here, and I have a Diwali workout for us today. So, trying to keep up with the theme of fall events and holidays that I decided we're going to be spun out Diwali today. So, for that, we are going to do 3 rounds today. We're going to do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest/transition time. I'm going to go real quick through demos and we'll get right into it. So, for the D for Diwali, we're going to start with a push up to a down dog push up or a pike push up. So, we're going to do 2 types of push ups there. So, hands and toes, doing our regular push up and our down dog push-ups. We're alternating between the two of those. And then for the I, we're going to do inchworm into a push-up. So starting on one end here, push our hips back, walk our hands out into our push-up. And then we can either walk our feet towards our hands or our hands towards our feet, whatever feels better for us today. Then for the W, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a bent over W to L to press. So what that's going to look like here, feet hip width apart, slight bend in our knees, pushing our hips back, hands in front. So from here, we're going to come up with our elbows. So we're going to make a W. We're then going to rotate up, make an L, and then reach overhead, back. But again, first step is, oh my goodness, my AirPods are not connected. What happened? All right, so then the first step, we're here, elbows come up into the L, push forward, back, and down. So we'll get that going a little bit better during the workout. And then next up, we're going to do an alternating reverse lunge. We are going to pause for 3 seconds at the bottom. So in the top of our space, stepping back, pausing, 2, 3, pushing up, and then again to the other side, 2, 3, pushing back up. And then for the L, we're going to do a moving lateral lunge. So starting on one side, stepping out, pushing up, and the other side, moving back the other way. So if you don't have enough space, go ahead and just do one each way or whatever you have space for. And then finally, we're going to do an inverted hamstring. We're going to alternate here. So arms straight out to the side, pushing our hips back, and then push right away, and then to the other side, sinking into our hip, pushing back and up. So that's going to be our whole workout for today. So let's go ahead, come to the top of our space for the world's greatest stretch. We're going to interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, point towards our chest. And exhaling, step back, reverse lunge, hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. We're going to inhale. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. Thumb is facing behind us. And up the door, hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together. Push the ground away and stand on up. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace our fingers, grabbing us for underneath, pulling towards our chest. And exhaling, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Let's take inhale. And exhale. Opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hands. Thumb is facing behind us. And exhale, placing outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer, pushing our hips up the door, hamstring stretch. And go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together, push your ground away, stand on up. All right.
Second part / last part of our warm up, we're gonna do a couple plates of pike. We got some upper body. We got a lot of push-ups coming up today, so warming up our shoulders here, hands and toes, and exhale coming up. You can pedal our heels a little bit. Whatever feels good. Poke your head between your arms. Again, whatever feels good. And let's go ahead and come back to our plank. We're gonna do 2 quick ones here coming up. Stand down. And last one coming up. And then go ahead and make your way back to your plank. And you can gently bring your knees to the ground. We're ready to rock and roll. So starting off with our regular push-up to our down dog push-up. I apologize, my AirPods keep getting disconnected. I don't know what's happening. So we're gonna get started. Hopefully they don't disconnect again. But we got 3 rounds here, 50-10. Going to get the timer started. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. So push up to a down dog push up. So starting with our hands and toes. You can always do hands and knees as well, whatever feels good, but making sure we screw our hands into the ground. Our back is nice and flat. Then we come into our push up. And then the pike push up here, or down dog, overhead press, making sure our elbows stay in. We want to keep our shoulder joints protected. Great job. Getting a lot of arm work here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have inchworm with a push-up. So starting on whichever side you'd like to. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are walking our hands out into our plank, pushing up. So we're doing a push-up. And then after that, pushing our hips up. You can either walk your feet towards your hands or walk your hands towards your feet. We have a lot of push-ups today, so if you want to give your arms a break, go ahead and walk those feet closer to your hands. Again, whatever feels good for you today. You can also do your push-up from your hands and your knees if that feels good, or do an eccentric push-up. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next up for the W. We're doing a bent over W. So arms are out in front, rowing back. 3, 2, 1. So hands in front, elbows come up. And then we rotate our hands up. Do a press and back. So first one, we're rowing back. So we're going to get that nice engagement through our back. So pulling with our back. We're rotating, working on our rotator cuff here. So rotate forward, pushing up, back, rotate, and down. So it's a lot of lat work. That again, that rotation. So we're working on our rotator cuff, super important. And then still also working on our overhead mobility. So it's, like I said, it's a lot in one movement. But I think we all know by now I like to do multiple things so we can get the most out of it. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right. Next up, getting into our lower body, we have our reverse lunges with a 3-second pause. 3, 2, 1. So starting at the top of our space, stepping back into our reverse lunge. We're holding for 3 seconds and coming back up. So making sure that as we stand up, we want to drive through our front heel, big toe, little toe. So we feel our front glute working. So that's the glute of the front leg. So we're making sure we're pausing for 3 seconds and back up. You know, 3 seconds, sometimes we want to count like 1, 2, 3, but it really is 1, 2, 3, and up. So nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Finish strong here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, moving lateral lunge. So moving for as much space as you have. 3, 2, 1. So depending on how much space you do have to move side to side, stepping out, pushing again through our whole foot. We want to really feel that in the leg that we're stepping out with. So right now, I'm moving to my left. So as I step out my left, I push through my left leg. So using the glutes and a little bit of our quads as well, because it's really hard to isolate our glutes with a lower body push. But if you need to move a little bit slower as we stand up, definitely do that. Great job. This one's a good one. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement. Then we got 2 more rounds. Inverted hamstring. 3, 2, 1. So hands all the way out. Want to keep that nice T with our arms. Sink into our hip. Get our balance going. Pushing our hips back. Pushing right away. These shoes are wobblier than I wanted them to be when I picked them this morning. That's okay. If you're at home, go ahead, take your shoes off if you have them on, if you feel like you're wobbling all over the place. I feel like I accidentally do this all the time. But like when I go to the gym, like for my workout later and I have lower body, I always wear flat shoes because it really is like you're connecting your foot with the ground by itself versus having arches or a cushion. It sometimes can throw off our balance. 3, 2, 1. All right. Perfect. Next up, we have back to the top, right? So we have push up to down dog. Push up. 3, 2, 1. So this is definitely the least amount of movements we've had in a while because I've been spelling out a little bit longer of themes. So we're back to our usual today. Do 3 rounds and then get into our cool down. My hands are sweaty. It's good. Great to be on hardwood. Sweaty hands, that's fine. Again, in that down dog push-up, making sure our elbows go towards our heels. We don't want them straight out. Protecting our shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, inchworm. Into push-up. 3, 2, 1. So feet are hip width apart. Pushing our hips back. We want to make sure that as we push our hips back, it is just like we're doing an RDL, right? Our core is engaged, butt to belly button, knees are slightly bent, our back stays flat. We don't want to be rounding over like this because then we're going to contact the ground. We're not going to have that good posture within our back as we walk our hands out. So we still want, just like if we screw our hands into the ground, we want our upper back to be engaged as we come to the ground. It's going to help it be a little bit more stable into our plank and our walkout. It's going to make our push-up stronger. And the same thing as we come back to our hands on the ground, we don't want to roll up. 3, 2, 1. It's just like an RDL there. All right. Next up, bent over W to L to overhead press. 3, 2, 1. All right. So step 1, our W. Breaking the glass with our elbows as on our back. So that's our row. We then rotate up. Press above our head. And back. This is actually a great way to strengthen our back and our shoulders for our overhead mobility as well as our rotator cuff. So this one's actually really, really great. We don't do it enough. I feel like I always do bent over IYTs as my default. This is a great way, again, building all of that strength and not just the strength, but our stability as well and our mobility. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. It's tough to get it down, but really, really good for our shoulders. All right. Reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. We are stepping back. 2, 3, pushing back up. So holding for 3 seconds, coming up. Trust me, when I work here out by myself, I'm like 1, 2, 3, up. No, nice and slow. So coming down, 1, 2, 3. And it's not like I'm counting slower. I mean, I am, but I'll look at the timer here. So we step back, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, coming back up. So I'm even looking at the clock, timing this, pushing through our front foot, using our glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right. Moving lateral lunges are next. And then we're going to do our inverted hamstring. 3, 2, 1. So we have this movement and then the next. Then we're going to be done for today. We definitely have enough time for our cool down today. I do want to get on the ground for that. Get into some bretzel. We can open up our legs, our back. It's been a while since we've done bretzel in this class. I know we did it in boot camp yesterday, and last week we did it in stability and stretch. Great job. Keep pushing. AirPods have fixed the problem. Don't know what was happening there. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last up, and then we got one more round. Inverted hamstring. 3, 2, 1. So arms stay out, sink into our hips. If you are like me and your balance is not good today, go ahead. We can do the same thing into that kickstand so you can keep your toe on the ground. I do want us to try and not do that for this one. I just, with 10 seconds, there's not enough time for me to put or to take my shoes off and then put them back on. But if you're at home, definitely just do that if you need to. But really key, we're pushing our hips, lead the movement. So it's not here, right? Chest isn't forward, our hips go back, and our chest is on a pole connected to our hips, and it follows. 3, 2, 1. All right. Great job, y'all. Last round, coming on up. Push-ups, 3, 2, 1. We have regular push-up and our down dog push-up. Don't like Aspen. I'm getting extra sore lately. Oh, and crackly. I've had too many joints and bones crack the last 2 days. I'm getting into my bad habit of looking down. I've been trying to break myself of the habit. But in the push-up, I tend to have my chin all the way tucked. Not the best position for us. Want to look a little bit farther out. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those, thankfully. Now, I did put a lot of push-ups. For someone who doesn't like push-ups, I put a lot in here today. 3, 2, 1. I just saw the opportunity presented itself. So I figured, why not? We'll push hard today. Just a quick note here tomorrow. So if you are going to be in the office, we do have our health and wellness day tomorrow over in Town Square, which is right across here from the fitness center. So that's happening from 11 to 2. We'll have chair massage, build your own trail mix. You get to pick what you want in your trail mix there. We'll have some ergo adjustments, all of that. But because of that, Renee will be teaching for me tomorrow. So her link will be up on SharePoint. So you can follow that link to get to the class versus using my regular link. 3, 2, 1. So just don't forget that for tomorrow. Next up, we have our bent over W's to L's overhead press. 3, 2, 1. All right. So we have row, rotate, press, back. We want to make sure we follow that on the way back too. So it's just as important as we rotate this way. Really important to rotate this way as well. Our rotator cuff is forward, separate muscles. So fun fact, if you didn't know, now you do. 4 muscles that go on the inside of our shoulder blades and connect at the front of our shoulder. So there's a couple muscles that actually insert right here. So that's why having strong shoulders can be really helpful because it can help us protect injury, not only for our shoulders, but for the muscles that support our shoulders and all that around there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Perfect. Done with our upper body. Next up, we have reverse lunges with our paws. 3, 2, 1. All right. So we step back, pause, and pushing through our heel big toe, little toe, using our glutes here. Strong glutes can be really helpful for a few things. So I'm going to more so point out right now. It's going to help if you have knee issues. I know for me, you all might know by now, I've been having my knee thing for the last few weeks. And a lot of this is what's been helping me is really focusing on my glutes and try to keep my weight in my heel. So that's going to be the first thing it's helpful for. The second thing is going to be back pain. So a lot of times our glutes are underactive, our hips are overactive because of sitting. 3, 2, 1. And having strong glutes can help realign for our posture to help with our low back and our hips. Moving lateral lunges. 3, 2, 1. So when I talk about really driving through our heel, that's because even just standing here, if you push through your toe, you're to feel that in your quad. If you push through your heel, you're to feel that in your glutes. So that's why I drive home. You want that balance tripod through your heel, big toe, little toe. But really driving through the heel can really help us use our glutes. And that's going to help build some strength to, again, take any pressure we might feel off of our knees and also help with back pain and hip tightness as well. I know my right hip, I've been struggling with that since college. And my glute is weaker because my hip is weaker, but my hip tends to take over. So retraining my glute to not have my hip take over. So glute strength is really important. 3, 2, 1. All right, last movement, inverted hamstring. And then, like I said, we're going to do some pretzel on the ground. 3, 2, 1. But I find that a lot of times people want to have glutes just to have glutes, but there's really a purpose to that, and that's why I do drive that home because it will help with other areas. And of course, we want strong legs overall, and that's why I focus on hamstrings, which is this one. Lunges help our quads, helps all of that. So I hope y'all know by now I do like to take a holistic approach to our strength, but there are reasons as to why I do and say certain things to help us with cueing and using our muscles. Our mind to muscle connection. All right. The last movement here. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it for us today. A little bit more strength focus than anything, but go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we can go ahead and make our way onto the ground. Like I said, we are going to be on our sides here for some pretzel. So making our way onto our side. We're going to take our top leg. We're going to come up, over, across our body. Knee and ankle stay on the ground. Bottom hand goes on top of our knee. Top hand grabs onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to do a nice big inhale. And exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. So we're going to get a nice stretch through the quad of our bottom leg. We're going to get a nice stretch through our glutes of our top leg. Getting some nice rotation in through our spine and opening up our chest, our shoulder, and our back.
talk about getting the most out of our movement. Really sighing away our tension. Let's go ahead and do one more breath. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release out of that. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way to the other side. Or we're going to do the same thing. So our top leg on the other side comes up over across our body. That's some nice cracks there. Your knee and ankle stay on the ground. Bottom hand goes on top of our knee. Top hand grabs onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to do a nice big inhale. And exhaling. Bring your top shoulder towards the ground. Sawing away our tension. Let your body sink into the ground. Let's go ahead and do one more breath. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release out of that. And feel free to stay laying on the ground, or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time we have for today. So thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope y'all have a great day, and then I will see y'all next week for class.